Okay, so let's unpack this. We've been waiting for some real details on the sequel to Greenland, and thanks to this new stack of sources, we finally have them.
We really do.
We're doing a deep dive into Greenland. Migration, which is set for January 9, 2026. And really, the mission here is to figure out what that title means, because it looks like this sequel just completely flips the genre.
It's a fantastic pivot. And the first thing the sources do is just settle all that confusion online. This is a direct sequel, full stop.
Not a prequel, not some side story.
Exactly. Migration picks up years after the Clark comet hit. It's all about that long, slow reality of survival. You know, how humanity literally crawls out of the ashes.
And it's so key that the core team is back. Gerard, Butler, Morena, Baccarin. They're back as the Garrities. And Rick Romanois is directing again.
Yeah, and he's promised to keep that same grounded, gritty feel, which is, I mean, it's vital when you're telling a story about the end of the world.
It really is. Because that grounded tone is everything when you see the world they come out into.
Well, yeah, if you think back to the end of the first Greenland, it wasn't some huge, triumphant moment. The sources call it a whisper of hope.
Right.
And that one quiet moment, I think it changed the DNA of the whole franchise.
It had to. The first movie was a classic disaster thriller. You had a ticking clock, and the enemy was easy to define. It was a big rock in the sky. This sequel throws us right into post-apocalyptic survival. The threats are everywhere, and they're constant. The sources describe this impact winter landscape
as looking like the surface of Mars.
Yeah.
The enemy is no longer cosmic, it's environmental. They say the world has been cleansed, which is a chilling word.
Cleansed, but also dead.
Dead. And for you, the viewer, that means a world with no usable plants, no animals, just this pervasive, deadly cold. So staying put, that's just a guarantee of death.
And that's what gets them moving. But it's not just about finding food, right? The sources point to two major catalysts here.
Two big ones. The first is what we just said, the dead planet. They physically cannot stay in the bunker.
It's a tomb if they stay.
It is. And the second is what the material calls the viral trigger. That little radio signal they heard right at the end of the first film.
The static, yes.
That signal confirms the Garrities are not alone.
So that's the twist. A moment of hope that instantly turns into, well, into dread.
Yeah.
If other people survived, you have to wonder who survived.
Precisely. And that's why the movie is called Migration. That signal creates what they call a new world order.
A new world order.
It means there are other survivors out there. They could be desperate, they could be organized, maybe even tribal. So the Garrities have to travel across this frozen, decimated wasteland of Europe to find a new home. And they're going to meet people along the way.
Okay, so let's just really break down the stakes here. Dodging a meteorite.
Yeah.
That's immediate, it's adrenaline.
Yeah, it's visceral.
But this new conflict is a sustained, grinding test of the human spirit. The sources really hammered this transition from an external danger to these chronic internal ones.
Absolutely. We're moving from dodging flaming rocks to navigating starvation, extreme cold, and I think this is the most interesting part, the moral complexities of a world without laws.
Right.
The question is no longer, will we survive the impact? It's, what kind of people do we have to become to survive what comes next?
So our deep dive really confirms it. This sequel is way less about the spectacle of the end, and so much more about the intimate, desperate attempt to rebuild something.
It's taking that theme of family resilience from the first film and just pushing it to its absolute breaking point. It's all about the personal cost of survival.
Yeah. They survived the impossible, but that doesn't mean tomorrow's any easier.
Not at all.
Which leaves you with this really powerful thought the film seems to be built around. Once you've survived the end of the world, how do you find a reason to keep living in it?